হ্যালো, ওয়েলকাম টু অরিফাইম। অরিফাইম তোমাদের জন্য নিয়ে চলে এলো ডাইরেক্ট এক্সাম হিট করবে এরকম এমসিকিউ সিরিজ নিয়ে, যেখানে থাকছে আজকের টপিক বায়োকেমিস্ট্রি। চলো শুরু করা যাক। হুইচ অফ দ্য ফলোয়িং কন্ডিশন ইজ অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড উইথ অ্যান ইনক্রিজ বিএমআর? অ্যান্সার হচ্ছে ফিভার। ফিভার থাকলে বিএমআরটা ইনক্রিজড হবে। ঠিক আছে, নেক্সট কোশ্চেন। হুইচ monosaccharides when indigested is absorbed into the blood primarily by facilitated diffusion via GLUT5 transporter rather than the active transport? Answer হচ্ছে কি D, fructose. The structural protein of elastic connective tissue such as ligament and large arteria, they can be readily stretched and recoiled is elastin. Next question. What is the average respiratory quotient, যেটা আর কি বলবো, of an individual oxidizing a mixed diet? D, 0.85 average ratio. Next. Which of the following fat soluble vitamin function primarily as a coenzyme in the synthesis of blood clotting factor? Vitamin D. The essential step in fatty acid synthesis involves acetyl-CoA carboxylations to mannonyl CoA. These reactions requires which vitamin as a coenzyme? C, biotin, B7 যেটাকে বলে। The mechanism of enzyme action, the substance that bind to the enzyme to form the unstable enzyme substrate complex is known as? D, substrate বলবো এটাকে। Which vitamin is involved in the synthesis of NAD+ and NADP+ coenzymes required of oxidation reduction reactions in metabolism? অক্সিডেশন রিডাকশন রিয়াকশনটাকে কি মেটাবলিজম করবে? এটা হচ্ছে যে সি, নিয়াসিন। হোয়াট আর দ্য থ্রি এসেন্সিয়াল কালার সেন্সড বাই দ্য রেটিনাল কন্টেনিং পিগমেন্ট ইন দ্য কোন সেলস মিডিয়েটিং কালার ভিশন? অ্যান্সার হচ্ছে বি, রেড, ব্লু, গ্রিন। দ্য প্রাইমারি রোল অফ ক্যালসিটেরল, যেটাকে বলি অ্যাক্টিভ ভিটামিন ডি, ইন দ্য কিডনি ইজ টু ইনক্রিজ সিএ অ্যান্ড PO2 reabsorption. The deficiency of vitamin A resulting in pathological dryness of the conjunctiva and cornea is medically termed as xerophthalmia. Which metal ion is essential for carbonic anhydrase and carboxy peptidase, two key zinc dependent enzymes? Answer D, zinc. The specialized transport factor required for the absorption of vitamin B12 in the ileum is C, intrinsic factor. Next. Which of the following is defined as the maximum velocity of an enzymatic reaction at saturating substrate concentration? D, Vmax. Velocity maximum হয়ে যাবে। Question. When performing paper chemotherapy, the ratio of the distance the solute moves to the distance the solvent moves in calculated as the C, RF value. Which form of iron specially transport in the plasma bound to transferrin? B, ferric. What is the RDA of vitamin C for an adult man or woman? B, 60 to 80 gram per day. Which classification of lipid consists of ester of fatty acid with alcohol containing and additional phosphate groups? C, phospholipids. Which amino acid, when deficient in maize protein, can lead to impaired niacin synthesis and sequentially plaque? এর অ্যান্সার হচ্ছে যে সি, tryptophan. Next. What is the primary role of NADPH produced by HMP shunt? Answer হচ্ছে বি, reduction biosynthesis. Next, which type of amino acid is considered glucogenic because its carbon skeleton can to be converted to glucose or an intermediate of TCA cycle? That is answer to D, glycine. Next, what is the primary component of the cell membrane? Anchored to the cytoskeleton. The answer is D, protein molecules. The condition where a substance exhibits equal number of positive and negative charges at neutral pH and does not move in the electrical field is known as C, deuterium. Next, which of the following condition is a primary cause of high ion gap metabolic acidosis? The answer is C, diabetic ketosis. What is the defined characteristic that characterized a protein as a complete protein? দেখি থাকছে D, containing all 10 essential amino acids. Next, the structural organization level that refer to the folding of the polypeptide chains along its long axis into the regular repeating structure stabilized by H bond is the B, secondary structure. Which type of specialized protein is embedded into the tissue like ligament and large arteria, providing elastic deformability? Answer is D, elastin. Next, the process of DNA synthesis, where a new DNA molecules is generated identical to the parent DNA, is known as C, replication. What is the primary role of tRNA molecules in the protein synthesis? C, carry amino acid to the site of protein synthesis. Which class of enzyme exemplified by an hexokinase and transaminase catalyzed the transfer of the group from one substrate to another? এটাকে আমরা কি বলবো? C, transferase. Which of the following defined as a competitive inhibitor because it structurally resembles and substrate succinate? D, malonate. Which is the following symptoms of dry beriberi? কি থাকছে D, wasting of limb muscle and peripheral neuritis. Next, the phospholipid that produce second messengers in hormonal action is B, phosphatidylinositol. Next, high concentration of fluoride inhibit which major glycolytic enzyme? The answer হচ্ছে যে D, enolase. What is the maximum percentage of the body energy requirement that dietary lipids should provide it? B, 10 to 40%. What is the RDA of protein for a normal adult expressed in relation of the body weight? B, 1 gram per kg per day. Next, which type of protein has its polypeptide chains extended along the axis, making it the typically insoluble? D, fibrous protein. Next, in the context of lipid digestion, the molecule resulting from the particle digestion that diffuse into the mixed micelles are এটা কি হচ্ছে D, monoacyl glycerol and long chain fatty acid. Next question, which mineral is the only one described as a one-way element because it is highly converts into the body with negligible excretion? What is the D, iron. Which of the following considered as incomplete protein that typically promotes poor growth because it lacks essential amino acid tryptophan and lysines? It's a D, Jane form corn. Which class of globulins found in serum has the smallest net negative charge of pH 8.6 and migrates slowest towards the anode? That's the D, বুঝতে পারলে, Y globulin. Next, diphtheria toxin prevents which critical step in eukaryotic protein synthesis. D. Translocation. The maximum calorific value per gram is Bohm calorimeter is derived from which micronutrients? C. Fat. The accumulation of arginine due to defect arginase enzyme characterized which disorder of the urea cycle? D. Hyperarginemia. This is the D. Hyperarginemia. Take next question. Which mineral is typically the largest component by the milliequivalent per liter concentration within the intracellular fluid ICF? Answer হচ্ছে D. HPO 140 থাকে বুঝতে পারলে তো মিলিইকুইভ্যালেন্ট পার লিটার। চলো থ্যাংক ইউ, দেখা হচ্ছে নেক্সট ভিডিওতে।